Dame Elisabeth Murdoch, the renowned Australian philanthropist and the matriarch of the Murdoch media dynasty, has died at the age of 103. Dame Elisabeth was a much-loved patron of various causes, including medical research and the arts. Anna McDonald looks back on her life.
It was at her beloved Cruden farm on the outskirts of Melbourne where Dame Elisabeth lived for more than 80 years. Until the end, she opened her doors to the public.
Everybody feels that there's a great serenity about this garden, and I think if you can achieve that, you've done something.
Elizabeth Joy Green was born on the 8th of February 1909. At the age of 19, she met the love of her life, Keith Murdoch, who at the time of their marriage was the managing editor of Melbourne's Herald Sun newspaper. Their partnership lasted almost 25 years before Keith Murdoch's sudden death in 1952.
My marriage, my happiness has strengthened me and carried me on. I never lonely. Besides, I've got such a lovely, caring family.
Her family is, of course, among the world's wealthiest and best known. Dame Elisabeth bore 4 children and has more than 70 descendants. She often spoke of her love for Rupert Murdoch, but she admitted they didn't always see eye to eye.
I think the sort of source of the kind of journalism and the tremendous invasion of people's privacy, I don't approve of that.
Wealth is synonymous with the Murdoch name, and it's something Dame Elisabeth was only too willing to share. In 1963, she was made a dame by the Queen for her work with Melbourne's Royal Children's Hospital. She helped establish the Murdoch Children's Research Institute, and at the age of 97, she was crowned Victorian of the Year.
If you've got money, it's perfectly easy to give it away and nothing to be particularly proud of, but it's being involved and knowing what you're helping and really being committed.
She was also a great supporter of the arts. The Victorian College of the Arts and the Melbourne Recital Centre have buildings named in her honour. As the years passed, Dame Elisabeth seemed to be more at ease with her life coming to an end.
Do you have a sense of what happens after you die?
I think we leave something, but nothing happens to us personally.
Dame Elisabeth has certainly left more than most.
Anna McDonald there. The former Premier of Victoria, Jeff Kennett, says Dame Elisabeth leaves a significant hole in Australian life.
It's not just the Murdoch family who have lost their senior member. It's a very large group of individuals who have been with her for decades, as well as the broader Australian community. So it's very, very sad. It's not unexpected, but as I say, she leaves a huge hole in Australian life, and she also leaves us a legacy of absolute goodness.
Jeff Kennett, our reporter Peter Carline, is at Melbourne's Royal Children's Hospital, a place of special significance for the late Dame. Peter, good morning to you. Before we get to that, what has been the reaction, the response from the Murdoch family overnight?
Well, good morning, Michael. Dame Elisabeth's son Rupert has released a statement overnight. In it he says, "We have lost the most wonderful mother, but we are all grateful to have had her love and wisdom for so many years." He says, "Throughout her life, our mother demonstrated the very best qualities of true public service. Her energy and personal commitment made our country a more hopeful place, and she will be missed by many."
She was known as being much more than simply the mother of Rupert Murdoch and 3 other children. She, of course, was a tremendous benefactor, and she was the driving force, Peter, behind the establishment of that hospital where you're standing in front of.
That's right, Michael. Dame Elisabeth was known for her contribution to more than 100 charities, none more so, as you mentioned, than here at the Royal Children's Hospital. Her involvement goes back to the early 1950s, and she was actually made a dame on the day that the Queen opened the hospital. One of her greatest legacies here will be her contribution to medical research to the Murdoch Children's Institute. It's carried out many important studies into children's health over the years. One of the more recent ones was looking at younger socially disadvantaged mothers and their access to midwife care. So very valuable work that she's done here over many, many years, and obviously affected greatly the outcome for many families and children.